If I had to start from scratch in 2025 with no business, no income, and just £1,000 to my name, Amazon FBA is going to be the #1 investment that I'd be making. Now, I'm not just saying that because I sell a course. I am saying that because I have lived it. I started Amazon FBA in 2022, and after doing it for nearly 3 years now, I've made nearly £600,000. And I now make about 30 grand per month on average, working just a couple hours per day. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly why Amazon FBA is the smartest investment to make in 2025, and exactly how you can start right away with the free Live Cops community, where we will literally set up your business for you and give you your first profitable product to sell. So let's get into it. So let's talk about why investing is so important in 2025. So I'm sure we all know about the cost of living crisis by now. Inflation is through the roof and wages are still just stagnant. Traditional savings accounts offer really low returns where you're, arguably we're not even beating inflation. There's one thing talking about just like a financial inflation rate as such, but when supermarkets are also jacking up the prices even more than inflation, it means that inflation is way higher than the banks are even reporting. Now, there are the more traditional options of like stocks and shares ISAs, or just investing in stocks through like a stockbroker. And this can be good, but your returns are pretty limited. Even in a good year, we're talking about 10% gains per year. And if the stock market isn't doing well, there's nothing you can really do about it. You're just not going to make as much money. And then there's also crypto. So I'm sure everyone has heard about investing in crypto. I've dabbled in it a little bit myself. I definitely do believe in the tech and stuff behind it. But at the end of the day, investing in crypto is just risky. You can make massive gains, but you can also make massive losses just as quickly. It's not something that really makes sense in a lot of ways, really, with crypto. It's a lot like gambling. And that's great if you can go on a winning streak and get really lucky. But the reality is a lot of people do lose money and there's just nothing they can do about it. And then there's property. So investing in property in the UK is seen as a really safe bet. You get the appreciation of the property itself, as well as the rent that you can charge people, but it requires so much capital to do so. We're talking a minimum of 6 figures. And there are loans and mortgages to consider, but that just adds a whole other layer of complexity and risk to it. And with recent changes in the law, I've seen a lot of landlords just selling up because it's just not that worth it. They're only getting about the same results and the same interest as such per year as they would putting their money in a stocks and shares ISA, but for a lot more hassle. All of these more traditional options just don't really work that well nowadays. Your actual return on investment is just so limited. But the reality is that most people need a second income stream to survive, let alone thrive. Life isn't just about making ends meet and paying the bills and being left with nothing else. You want enough to be able to go and travel the world, buy nice things for yourself, and actually enjoy life. So let me explain why I think that Amazon FBA is the #1 way to keep your money turning over and working for you. So firstly, Amazon FBA is not just a trend. Amazon is dominating 40% of the online retail sector right now in the UK, and this has been increasing year on year. And it's the exact same story for other countries as well. Amazon are just on top of their game. They offer the fastest shipping, the easiest returns, and they have the largest product selection out of any marketplace. There are 3 main ways to get into Amazon. There's private label, there's wholesale, and there's what I do, online arbitrage. So private label is where you're launching your own product, typically buying it from a Chinese factory or something like that, slapping your logo on it and pumping ad money into it to try and get sales. Now, this can work really well, and I know of people that have done really well of this. However, there's a lot of risk to it, and I don't think that it's that beginner friendly. You've got to invest a lot of money up front, and you could just end up breaking even or even making a loss overall after you've put in a lot of effort. Wholesale is a much safer bet. You're just selling existing branded products and you're just buying those from distributors. But the problem is the margins in wholesale are so low. Most wholesalers don't even want to sell to people that just sell on Amazon. And when you can find wholesalers that are more willing to work with you, the deals just aren't very good. I think unless you've got a huge amount of capital, I'm talking like multi-6 figures to invest, wholesale just isn't very worth it for the return on investment that you get. And then you've got arbitrage. So this is what I focus on. This is where you're just buying branded products from retailers instead of distributors. And you're often buying these in big sales and promotions where you're able to get that product at stupidly low prices. And that means that if you just buy enough of it, you can maximize your profits by just selling that product at the full retail price on Amazon. It has a really low barrier to entry. There's no need for product development or marketing of any kind. All the products you're buying already sell themselves. It's also really cash flow friendly. You can request payments from Amazon every single day and spend that money right back on new stock. You also don't need a crazy amount to get started. About £1,000 will do. You're not having to meet the massive minimum order quantities that wholesalers set out. You can buy as little as 1 unit of a product if you're not that confident in the purchase. OA is also really scalable with VAs and prep centers. A VA is just an employee in another country that helps you run your business for a really low salary. And prep centers is basically a warehouse where you send all your stock and they deal with the more physical side of things, you know, labeling it up and sending it off to Amazon. And with this business model, if you have the right systems in place, you can run it fully remote. I mean, last year, for example, I spent 3 months abroad in Thailand and was able to run my business from there with no problems at all. I've literally just come back last month from spending another 5 weeks in Thailand, and I'm able to travel as much as I like. As long as I've got my laptop and an internet connection, I can get to work. And I'm not kidding when I say this business model works really, really well when you put in the effort. So I've been selling for about 2.5 years. So far, I'm currently at the 570K lifetime profit mark. Very soon, I'll have surpassed 600 grand in total profit from Amazon. Right now, I'm averaging about 100K gross profit every 90 days. And honestly, it still shocks me every day that I've been able to build this business from my living room, and it now funds my entire lifestyle of traveling and enjoying myself, all while only working a couple hours per day because I've employed other people to do a lot of the work for me. Now that is gross profit, but if you want to head over to my own channel, Felix Amazon Cat, I did a whole video where I break down the actual net profit, and there'll be a QR code on screen now where you'll be able to see my actual accounting figures at the end of the year for how much I made in my first year of trading on Amazon. I'll also be doing an updated one of these very, very soon in September once my end of year accounts are done. So make sure to subscribe to both Live Cops and my other channel to keep updated for that. It's definitely important that you know the distinction between revenue, which is what a lot of these Amazon gurus like to post, and actual net profit. It's all good selling 300 grand worth of products in a month, but if you're making like no money on any of those products, it's just a waste of time. So if Amazon FBA is so great and you can make so much money, why isn't everyone doing it? And why do some people fail at Amazon FBA? I think the reason why most people don't do Amazon FBA is very, very simple. It's complex, and a lot of people just aren't willing to set up a business and work for themselves and take that risk. People just get way too comfortable. Like if their 9 to 5 is paying the bills and just getting them by, and it's not a case of like the bank is foreclosing on their house or anything super serious like that, people just get bone idle and just kind of put up with mediocrity. But I've never wanted to live a life like that. I would rather die, honestly, than live a life of just getting by and doing the bare minimum. I've always wanted to aim for greatness, and that is what I still strive to do every day. Now, the reasons why people fail at Amazon FBA after taking that jump is a little bit more complex. I'd say the most common reason why people fail is because they just get sold a dream by someone that isn't really being honest with them. You can't start Amazon FBA with just 100 quid, and it's really hard to do if you don't have any guidance or anyone else that's doing well off it to help you. I mean, that's part of why I've joined the Live Cops community and have started making these videos for you guys. I'd say you need a minimum of £1,000 to get started with Amazon FBA to have real success, but the more you can invest in stock, the more you're going to be able to sell and the more profit you'll be able to make. And now, after I've opened up the Live Cops free community, there is no better time to get into it. And there's never been an easier way to join a community of successful sellers and surround yourself with people having success in this industry and just follow in their footsteps. I think another reason why a lot of people fail is they just use outdated methods and end up finding the same deals as everyone else in the game. If you're just buying the same products as everyone else, you're going to struggle to scale to a good level. I've managed to find real success through my quote-unquote secret sourcing techniques, which has allowed me to scale past, numbers that most people never thought were even possible, because I'm just doing it differently. I'm just finding the deals that no one else is really able to touch. I think a lot of people also don't know what software and tools to use. If you are building a house and you don't have the right tools, you're going to end up with a pretty shitty house. I think it's important that people know about tools like Profit Go and Keeper, which just allow you to source these products really effectively and analyze listings really well. Another reason people fail is they give up with ungating. Ungating is basically the process of getting approved to sell certain brands on Amazon, and it can be really tough as a beginner, especially nowadays. But it's not as hard as you might think, and a little bit of persistence over a few months can absolutely change everything. There'll be a QR code on screen now for a video that I did on ungating where I go into a lot more detail and explain all my methods of kind of getting around the system. But if you have this problem right now and you're a new seller and you're struggling to get approved for brands, just keep at it. As you sell more, Amazon will automatically ungate you for various other brands. It's just a case of getting across those first few hurdles at the start. But out of all of these reasons, the number one reason why people fail with Amazon is they just give up too soon. They try to go it alone alone, they don't research it properly, they don't join communities like Live Cops, and they just give up before they strike gold. Amazon FBA is simple in concept, but is not easy in practice. It takes a lot of time and effort to get to the point where I'm at today. If you don't put in that work in the beginning, and if you don't kind of take every challenge as it comes and try and overcome them, and you just give up, you're never going to get anywhere in life. Nothing worth doing is ever easy. Now, Live Cops has just absolutely changed the game with the new system that I've put into place. With the launch of our free community, we're offering all new sellers an amazing opportunity. We'll help you set up your limited company, we'll help you set up your first business bank account, and we'll then share with you a massive list of suppliers, as well as getting you set up with your first profitable product that you can buy straight away. And we'll do all of this completely for free. Once you've gone through this process, we'll give you access to the free Live Cops community, as well as 4 months of free access to the paid community. This means you have 4 months of access to a paid community that's usually valued at £50 per month, meaning you get £200 worth of membership completely for free. This is something that nobody else in the game is offering, and honestly it's ridiculous to even say this, to be honest. So once you've gone through that process, you'll then have that paid access to one of the biggest communities in the UK for Amazon sellers. You'll be amongst the biggest sellers in the UK, including myself and hundreds of others. You'll have access to loads of free information about ungating and any other challenges that might come your way, as well as instant support from the staff. You'll get alerts for new deals to be buying. You'll get access to cutting edge product monitors that alert you for any new deals that you can buy. You'll get loads of guides and support, and we really will be holding your hand at every step of the way to make sure that you make profit with your Amazon FBA business. And like I said, we'll do all of this completely for free. And if after that 4 months you want to kind of take it to the next level, you can then start paying for the monthly membership. And I'm sure after 4 months, given that 4 months is a pretty decent amount of time to have free access to this community and all these resources and all these leads, I'm sure you'll already be making profit, where it's basically a no-brainer to sign up. So what are you waiting for? Scan the QR code on screen now, or head down to the video description and there'll be a link to join the free Live Cops community there. We're literally offering thousands of pounds of value completely for free for new sellers. There's never been a better time to get into Amazon FBA. And just in case you're still on the fence, here's a few testimonials from our community members for recent flips and recent profit that they've been making with all the resources that we give out in the community. Hopefully this video has given you the Amazon FBA blueprint for getting started in 2025. And if you did get some value from this video, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe to get updated on all the new videos we're going to be coming out with on this channel. I'll see you in the next one.